speed running charity marathon in support of Doctors Without Borders. I'm going to go ahead and catch up with a few donation comments that we got in recently. $50 from Jay Growley. Studying for medical school, but I have y'all in the other room so I don't feel too lonely. Can this money go to Sound Guy's choice? We'll try to get his choice, but special shout-outs to the Sound Guys from Power Up Audio. Sound Guys are absolutely based. $20 from Ilias. Had to donate again to support a great cause. Why are we fighting over saving or killing animals when we have a more important cause to support? Saving the world in Link's pajamas. This is going towards Wind Waker Pajama %. Yep, you guys are on. $20 from Max Power 45. Just introduced to speedrunning recently, and this is my first chance to see a GDQ live event. Lack Attack Sub 30 Zelda run is my all-time favorite. Been waiting several months to donate toward important cause. Save the frames, kill the animals. And of course, these donations are in reference to our ever-running Save versus Kill the Animals bid war in Super Metroid. You have until the end of the marathon to donate towards your favorite choice. Killing or saving the animals. I can use that to promote another very important bid war, is the names for Robo and Luca in Chrono Trigger. We are trying to get Demon Choco to be those names, so please, please give towards that cause. $100 from Christopher Stevenson. Never played any of the Mother series, but enjoying the run anyway. Putting 100 to the Halo 3 Legendary run. Save the animals. $50 from Wesley Paulo. As one of the only people that bought Earthbound at launch, it's a special game that I truly love. I say kill the animals, and my girlfriend says don't kill the animals. Wesley, I hope you chose not to kill them for your sake. $50 from Enigma 129. The Earthbound run and quite a few other runs have been amazing. It's nice to see some classic games getting horribly, horribly broken for a good cause. Donating for the 100% run of Chrono Trigger, because what's the point of time travel if you don't fix all of the things? And on that note, I want to issue a special challenge out to the viewers out there. I was on the mic a few hours ago when we crossed the $350,000 mark. I see now that we're only about $20K away from the $450,000 mark, and I would love to be able to be here to announce two of those milestones. So please, please, I'm here, Prince of Persia, Deus Ex. In the next couple hours, let's get 450. These are some fantastic runs and some fantastic runners and deserve your support, as of course does the cause.
Okie dokie, let's turn it down a little bit. Hello? Lovely. Okie dokie. Wait, I'm just getting this. It's okay to run like that, yeah? Okay. Yep, no worries. No problem whatsoever. Okie dokie. So I guess we'll just start from new game, yeah? Okay. Timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So technically, the timer should start when you gain movement, but I can't be bothered with that. Hello, everyone. I am Heneko, and this is Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. So this game came out in 2003, so it's 12 years old, and it came out at the time for, I think, PC, PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. So it had like a multi-platform release. From that moment, the audio is very loud.
Yeah, the game audio is a bit loud.
I would bring my father by fighting like a warrior in my first battle.
That's okay. Lovely. So we're going to start off the game with a skip straight away, like that. What we're going to do is the first 4 minutes basically is just completely standard gameplay. So I'll go into a little bit about the history of this game and also its appearances in marathons. Because it did appear at AEGDQ 2011, I believe, and SGDQ 2012. Both times it was run by Mike Uyama. Back then, the game was completely different to what it is now. I believe the world record was 1 hour and 40 minutes and 29 seconds, which now it's around 47 minutes. So obviously something's happened there. There was a glitch found, and it was really recently. It was found this February. Basically, since February, we've been just messing around with the game and trying to make it go as fast as possible. You won't see this glitch for around the next 3 minutes or so, because this first bit is, like I said, pretty much just done as intended. There's a few things you can do to speed it up, but mostly it's just small little movement tricks. Okie dokie. There is something kind of funky you can do right now. It doesn't save any time, but if you change the camera as you go into that cutscene there, for some reason the game should lock you in place. But if you change the camera the moment you walk in the cutscene, it doesn't lock you in place. Doesn't matter anyway, because like I said, when you change to this cutscene, it locks you in place anyway, so it's very pointless. And there's also, if you jump into the corner here, it does move you along a little bit. Okie dokie. So coming up, or not that soon, but around the 4 minute mark, there is a trick which I might have a little bit of trouble with. It's a really finicky trick. It's deceivingly hard to do. Hopefully I can get it first try. It's called Dagger early, and it was actually found, that was a trick that was found way back when Mike was running the game, so.
The next time we're interrupted.
Like I said, this first bit's as intended, so if you want to do any donations, if there are any.
I'll actually use this moment to plug one of our sponsors. We had a donation a moment ago that was for Sound Guy's Choice. And our sound guys are the wonderful crew from Power Up Audio. Power Up Audio is an indie sound studio from Vancouver, Canada. They've worked on such games as Darkest Dungeon, Wanderlust Adventures, and here at SGQ they're donating all their time to make sure that we get the best and smoothest sound experience possible. And that game, Darkest Dungeon, that I just mentioned, actually happens to have something in common with this game. It shares a composer. So if you like what you're listening to here, Darkest Dungeon is another game that Power Up Audio worked on and would definitely be worth your time.
Nice, we got it first try. That's actually a really hard trick, so I'm kind of happy that I managed to get that. You saw there that the tutorial said avoid spiky poles, which I think is very good life advice. I just died. That's okay. It's not a big time loss. There we go. Hopefully we can get this first try again. Nope. It's okay. Like I said, this can be a little bit finicky. Dude. That's right, I got this. Also, by the way, if the couch wants to introduce themselves.
I'm Chaotic Ace.
I'm Wixie Herms.
I'm Azure Spirit.
I'm Black Person.
Okay, so this is actually a relatively new skip that was found by Hinafu. He's a runner of the game that actually runs on PS3, which is a little bit weird because no one really runs on console anymore because of because the trick that we found is actually frame rate specific, and consoles, even the enhanced versions, they all run at 30 frames instead of 60 frames, which means the trick isn't as effective. But basically, he found that you don't actually need to pick up the dagger. All you need to do is walk onto that walkway and then backtrack a little bit because the game, after you trigger this cutscene, will give you the dagger anyway. The only difference is that normally when you pick up the dagger, it would have 3 sands already in it. But because we don't get the dagger, for some reason it starts out with 0. You can see the sand counter. It will go up by 1 up in the top left-hand corner there. So we're going to grab 2 from these guys, and then this is where the game gets sort of broken. In fact, very broken. So we're just going to go hump this wall over here. You're going to have to get used to me humping some walls, because that's pretty much how you get through a lot of the doors.
And just vibrate right through it.
Yep, and there we go. Lovely jubbly. So you need to trigger Farah here, because she needs to go away. Lovely. So you can actually, I'll explain this trick when there's a better time, because right now you're not actually getting a good view of what's happening. So because you can't get a good view of what's happening, I'm actually going to leave off explaining the trick up until there's a good place where you can visually see what's happening. Because at the moment, Prince is going to fly off your screen and then die.
Rip.
That's not meant to happen. That's okay. That's a bit of a time loss, but. Just going to take these 2 sounds again. I'll play it a little bit safer this time. Basically what happened is on controller, which is what I'm running on now instead of PC, it's a little bit inferior. It's not like an excuse or anything. It is like my choice to play the controller, just because of preference, basically. But the controller can actually drop some inputs, which is what happened there. So the trick that I'm doing, what we're doing is we're overloading the rewind system. And that's making the Prince, when you overload the rewind system, you don't have any collision, which is why I'm able to go through doors, and the Prince is able to fly everywhere. So you're going to be able to see it a little bit better here. I'm going to jump, and then I'm going to do these steps.
And I should have passed the night lay cold and silent.
So what this does is it applies all of the acceleration from these movements, and once you've overloaded the rewind system, it just applies all that acceleration to whichever movement you did before the movement, before the tiny steps, and that's basically how we're going to skip a lot of this game. You can use it in a ton of different ways. It's not as simple as just able to use it in one specific way. You're able to manipulate the rewind system, because you can either have a fast rewind or a slow rewind. And what this does is, if it's a slow rewind, which is just the normal speed of the rewind, it goes like the full length, basically. Whereas, oh dude, these enemies are like spawning right in my way. If you do a fast rewind, it halves the distance of what it would be normally. And you can use that to your advantage in a bunch of different ways, because when you slow rewind, a lot of the acceleration, obviously, it puts you too far. So when you want to only clip through like a small distance, it's often good to use a fast rewind, because the distance is a lot shorter. Now I've got no sands at the moment, so I'm going to go pick up these sand clouds. These sand clouds will refill all of your empty sands, however many you have empty at the time. So this is probably the first advanced dip. Hopefully it goes okay. I'm probably going to count this out aloud just to make sure I do enough. So we're going to dagger, backflip, dagger. Okie dokie. So we're going to slow rewind this completely. Now the reason we're doing it this way is because I need to go into the next corridor without hitting. Sorry, I didn't do enough steps. I need to go into the next corridor without hitting the cutscene. So the cutscene's I think 1 minute and 10 seconds long, so it's really good to skip. But the unfortunate thing is the loading trigger, for some reason, is located really far out. We don't really know why it's that far out, but anyway. What I did is I did the backflip and then the next dagger to, I needed to go hit the trigger, and then I needed to come back and then go into the next corridor. So the dagger, backflip, dagger gets to that point. So now we're down here, and rip. But we do this intentionally. The reason why, because we just skipped a huge section of the game doesn't really know where we are. It gets a bit confused, and if I didn't take that death there, then this area that I'm in now wouldn't currently be loaded because the game doesn't realize that we've actually skipped a large section. So I'm going to pick up this sand cloud here just for safety. You can make the next section with 2 sands, but it's just going to give me a bit of breathing room. So I need to stand in a specific place here. Okay. So the actual number that you need to overload the rewind system is 18, at least on controller. On keyboard, it's 22. And then on... okay, that's unfortunate. I can save this, I think. I think this should work. I think I can save this, possibly. No. Okay, we're in a little bit of trouble here. So, normally, we'd be able to skip over this puzzle. And we're going to be able to... Oh. Hey! Oh. Okie dokie. So there's the first crash of the game. Damn. Everybody clap. You've got to applaud Ubisoft. So, I'll be honest, that has actually never happened before. That has literally never happened before in that place.
That specific crash.
Yeah, that's a really rough one because I didn't necessarily do anything wrong there. This is really bad because I didn't expect to crash that early.
Well, Heneko, I think I've got a couple donations for you that are appropriate right now.
Yep, go for it.
$5 from Sphere11. Hey Joe, best of luck in the Sands of Time run. I hope you found the correct power plant settings to not make the game crash.
Okay. Well, this is really awful. I'm going to have to race against time. I basically can't mess up, otherwise I will go over estimate. I think I can still squeeze it in. But basically we're going to have to do the whole section of the game again, which is really rough, because I think that was probably around like 10 or 11 minutes that I just lost there. That's a lot of time to lose, but hopefully it doesn't go too badly the rest of the run. So, what I was going to say is because this game is very renowned for its crashes, because this new glitch, basically the game gets really confused and it crashes very, very easily. What I'm going to do every time it crashes is I'm going to donate $10 to Doctors Without Borders, and also there's two other members of the Prince of Persia community that will also donate $10. So that's going to be $30 for every crash. So we've already raised $30 between us, so that's good. This is really rough. It should be okay though. There we go. I'm not quite sure if I can get under estimate now, but I think we can. That's going to be a tough goal. Dude, this is not going well. It's okay.
Wait.
The choke is real. Thank you for telling me to avoid spiky poles, which I didn't do very well. It's okay.
We got a couple donations here that you might like to hear, Heneko. One of them is $50 from Mike Uyama.
Oh, damn.
Wow, Heneko, 47 minutes? Now I really have to see this run.
Yes, well, I'm very sorry, Mike, but I'm not doing the name proud. Hopefully I should, well, to be fair, I should definitely still be able to get under 140, so I'll still bot Mike, but it's going to be a rush to get under 120.
He said also, now I really have to see this run. It's definitely been something to see. I must see how this game has been shattered since I ran it, because I remembered all of the restrictive loading zones. Anyway, I was going to be impressed when you got the dagger early first try, but then you died. Ha ha. I'm already seeing new tech and definitely looking forward to the rest. I wish I could be there, Uyama.
So yeah, I'll be honest, everything that's happened is kind of my fault. I honestly didn't expect the crash though, that's something new.
We also had $5 from Tokoloni1. Heneko is my inspiration, my muse, and every game crash tonight makes me more and more believe that this game is nonsense. Love you, Joe. Do this. Let's do this. Heart.
Okay, so Toka is currently the zipless world record holder. So zipless is technically the category that Mike ran, because obviously he didn't have any zips. We still run zipless because Mike had like a bunch of good tech. Like The rewind tricks that you do are really interesting, and we didn't really want to get rid of them because, they're really interesting to do. So we still run zipless. Within the zipless category itself, we've actually made a ton of improvements, and the zipless world record is actually 1 hour and 29 minutes, I want to say, which is still considerably faster than 140. So we made like a bunch of improvements on that one as well.
Where my father,
Okay, then I'm going to wait a little second here.
and I should have passed the night lay cold and silent. The sands of time.
Damn. There we go.
Uh-oh.
So, with the zipping, as well as having no collision, you also have 0 fall damage. You can still die from falling, but the reason why that happens is if you're currently in the air and you have any other movements while you're in the air, the game will reset your fall counter, which is why before I did that, I had the little pause because I didn't want to die from the fall damage. Could I get I'm kind of dreading it, but can I get a readout on what the timer is? 17:05. Holy moly. Okay.
Oh.
No, we can do it. We can do this. Easy. I think. Maybe. He
Just got to get everything first try.
Yeah, first try, every try. Easy. Damn. It's okay. Just need to keep on telling myself, it's okay. It's fine. I need to pick up the sand cloud again.
We had $100 from Zig K saying, "Save the sound, guys. Love Sands of Time. Had to donate for this run. Good luck with all the runs." Save the sound, guys, indeed. They probably could use some rest.
Haven't slept in literally 48 hours.
Dang.
I'd offer a new incentive to save the sound, guys, but I don't know how we could make good on that. So just give your money to Demon Chocobo.
Can you hear the tapping of the controller on the mic? Because I could say, you're probably going to hear that quite a lot.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Dude, I don't understand why this isn't working. This is pretty rough. So also, I'm going to give shout-outs to both Eraser and Skeleton, who are doing the French restream, and also Toka, who is doing the German restream commentary. I think for those guys, it's like 6 a.m. or something crazy, so they have to had to either stay up or wake up. So thanks to those guys. In fact, back when I started these scarabs. Back when I started running the game, which was only in December, before all this zipping stuff had been found, it was only me and Skeleton, Eraser, and Asko, who's a Danish runner. We were the only guys that were actually running. And then after the new tech was found, I think currently on the leaderboards there's 10 runners for Prince of Persia, so it jumped up pretty considerably. And also, I do know that there was I think 2 people who used this game for their 12-hour speedrunning challenge as well. So I don't know if they ever uploaded their times to the leaderboard though.
We had $50 from Anonymous saying, "I had to step away for a few minutes and missed part of the run. Thanks for starting over, just for me."
It's just for you, buddy.
Donation towards Runner's Choice.
I don't know. I'm going to put that to you. I'm going to give it back because I don't know what to donate to.
Demon Chocobo.
I'll actually put that towards the Chrono Trigger 100% run, which has a $65,000 target. So If you guys aren't sure what to give to, that's a good option. As far as upcoming bids go, there is for the next run, Deus Ex Human Revolution, there is a bid war between Save Malik or Let Her Die. Currently, Save Malik is in quite a heavy lead between 1,700, so 1,700 to 155. So if you're feeling kind of merciless, get those dollars in.
Okay, so we're finally back at the section where we died. So it's taken some time, but we got there. So this is going to tell us to pass safely through the spikes and walk slowly, but we don't need to, because doing that skip that we did, providing we do it successfully, it deloads the triggers for the traps. The big spiky poles are still there, but the ones on the floor don't get loaded, which is nice, because that's fast. You don't have to walk slow. So what I'm going to do now is a vertical sword slash. So it's going to put me forward and then upwards, and I'm going to fast rewind it. The reason why is because I need to be at a certain height. So I'm going to do this fast. You do a fast rewind just by holding down a direction whilst rewinding. Oh, dude, that's really bad. Rip. It's okay. This is not going well. We're just going to have to wait for the prince to, party on down. See you later, prince. He's just going to sink into the floor. Okay, but we're going to start from here. This is the reason why I went back and got the checkpoint, because I was scared of something like that happening. So, how is everyone?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, no, I'm doing fantastic. Oh, yeah, no, okay, so because I reloaded the checkpoint, the spikes are actually there now, which means I can't walk fast over them. I can, however. We'll run over those ones. What's quite odd is you can actually hear the sounds for the traps running there, but you can't actually see them because they're not loaded. So let's try this again. I honestly thought that I might have a little bit of good luck because the run that I did before this actually had 0 crashes, which is really rare. For an idea of how rare that actually is, the last run that I had that didn't crash was actually the run that I did at ESA in Sweden earlier this month. Dude, oh God. This is a official train wreck. It's okay.
Just keep telling yourself
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, as long as I believe it, right, then it can't be a train wreck. But it's not going great. We're gonna have to do this bit. I don't know the best option. Okay, let's try this. This isn't gonna. I think the trap's gonna pull out. Okay. I need to kill myself. Death abuse. Oh my God. This run is something.
Well, we had $30 from the Portlandian. Said, got hooked on watching speedrunning during AGDQ 2014. Now I watch every second I get. It's awesome to watch it get bigger and bigger. Thanks to all the runners and volunteers for donating their talents for a great cause.
Okie dokie.
What have I done?
Carrot13 gives $50 and says, Dust Force super hard secret level. Let's go. $50 from Edroxky. Enjoying spending another week of summer evenings with you crazy kids and your strats and your hype and your RNG. The stream is a class act this year, too. Looks like GDQ is growing up. Nice work.
Okay, so this should work, right? Hopefully. Hey, we're in there. Fantastic.
And to finish Edroxky's comment, nice work. Also, save the animals, do it for Morrissey.
Okay, so even though I went up there, I had to backtrack a little bit because the way that this game works is it's compartmentalized. So there's a bunch of different loading triggers. And oftentimes when we zip, if we're still like in a playable area, we will have to backtrack, just to hit a trigger so that we can continue. I'm not sure if I'm going to one cycle this. I'm going to try it. There we go. Nice. It's not really a time save, or a very minuscule time save. So I'm just going to stop for a second so that I get no movements combined with my zip. So I overstepped that by quite a lot because at the moment my zips don't seem to be going very well, and it still didn't work. So let's try this again. I don't know what seems to be happening. So I'm definitely overstepping by like 2 every time, but it still feels like it's not working. I'm just going to walk back into this cutscene. Normally we'd skip it, but I'm going to do it for safety because this run's not been so hot so far.
Can you hear me?
Well, Anonymous gave $50 and said, I believe in you, Heneko. I believe.
I believe too, I think, maybe. I'm going to tell myself I believe. Okay, so this next zip coming up is kind of hard. I need to do a downward zip, and sometimes the timing can be a little bit messed up. Okay, so if this goes right, hopefully the first thing we'll see is him drop into the floor. If that happens, then we're going to be good to go. Okay, yeah, we're fantastic. Lovely. So the game thinks that we're still here, so it gets very confused. And I'm going to take this safe, actually. So normally, we would have to fight my dad here, because my dad got turned into a sand zombie, which is always annoying when it happens. But we don't have to, because we can drop out of the room, and hopefully that might be a little bit too far. We'll see how it goes. No, yeah, okay, so this is going to be a little bit weird, because earlier in the game, we should have seen 3 cutscenes in which we build a little bit of a relationship with this woman, but this is the first time we really see the woman in the run, apart from the very beginning. But just trust me, she's very annoying. She likes to ruin runs. Her name is Farah, and she ruins runs. That's pretty much all she does.
Don't leave me here.
I want to leave you here. I'm going to do exactly that, actually. So I'm just going to hump the door until he hits me. Sometimes when they hit you, it can make you like zoom really far out. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but it didn't happen this time. So what I'm going to do now is I zip through this area, and this is actually quite a large sequence break by around a minute or 2 minutes, I want to say. But because I sequence braked quite a lot, I'm going to void out, because when I void out and then I come back in, we hit the checkpoint. The only problem is because we broke the game, basically, the game gets confused and doesn't realize that Farah is meant to not be with us. So when I hit the top of the stairs, Farah is always on the outside, if you're doing the intended way. So obviously she's with me when you reload the checkpoint, and then when you get to the top of the stairs, the game thinks she should be outside, so it ports her back, and then we have to go let her back in. Come on. There we are. So this next section, this was the section that I was most worried about for the first crash. So hopefully we don't.
You're a skinny little thing.
There we go. So if you just watch this cutscene. This is a really risky zip on controller. The reason, I don't think I explained, the reason why sometimes, well, it's pretty much proven that running with a mouse and keyboard is actually vastly superior. It's because you can't really drop inputs on a controller, because the port isn't so good. You can actually drop quite a few inputs. So hopefully this goes okay. I'm going to need to line this up kind of tight. Okay, I think it should be good. Okay, so we're going to let this play out, and we're going to do it a slow rewind. So this one's going to take quite a long time. But you'll actually, this is probably the first time you actually really get to see where the zip goes. There we are. So we landed down here. I'm actually just going to backtrack because I don't know if I hit the loading trigger. And I definitely want to hit the loading trigger because if I don't, then, again, that would be very, very bad. So I know the loading trigger's like here. So I'm just going to walk around this section and then jump back down. Damn, that was close. Hopefully I didn't overstep too much. If I overstep too much, it means I can actually go through the wall, but I'm not going to. So this bit here is kind of odd. We're going to get Farah to reload the room for us.
Stay there!
She didn't stay there. But when you retry, she reloads the room, basically, because the game gets into a game over state. But because we've already walked past the checkpoint, the game overs, because obviously we can't continue without her. Yeah, the game overs because we can't continue without her. And then when we reload, we're put in a safe state. I seem to be dropping a lot of inputs. I don't know if I've calibrated the controller wrong. It seems to be happening quite a lot, so it might be my fault. Because this game came out in 2003, and it's a PC game that I'm currently playing. What happens here, by the way, I'll just explain it. The cutscene will play, it will detect, it will look for Farah, and because she's not with us, it game overs. Which is actually really handy, because it puts us into a nice position to set up for this zip. Yeah, no, so it will be my fault if I have calibrated it wrong, because you need to manually calibrate it. The game doesn't come calibrated. And which means that the Prince, it will have some detection, but basically the control sticks are really awkward if you don't calibrate them. I thought I did it good, but apparently I didn't, so it's not going to be too much of an issue. Although, I will say, probably will go over estimate, but not by too much.
$50 from Colleen Usher.
Hey.
Says, Heneko, good luck.
Heneko. My mum just called me Heneko. Wow. Thanks, Mum. Thanks a lot. Damn. Okay, so we're going to zip through here. Now, we're going to look for a loading trigger. I need to be really careful here, which is why I'm taking slow steps. So you can tell when the area is loaded because those black bars become wooden bars. You need to be really careful because if I would have taken one step more, or I think it's 2 steps actually, you walk into a cutscene which can mess up Farah's AI here, so it's pretty important to get right. So I'm going to be doing these zips now. You might have noticed I'm going to be doing them a lot slower and a lot more forceful than I normally do, because it seems to be having an issue. Even then, it's okay. It's seems to not be registering it as much. Okay, let's just make sure we're lined up here. So I did one more than I definitely should have done there, and I did it really slow. So hopefully this works. If it doesn't, I'll be very confused. We should be good to go, though. Fantastic. Lovely. So what we're going to do now is we're backtracking to this door because the checkpoint is at the door. And then we're going to dodge these scarabs, and we're going to void out again because the next area of the level isn't loaded, so we're just going to roll out of here. There's a lot of that.
We had $3 from Double E saying, we can hear the tapping and we love it.
Oh my.
$3 to $3 to Runner's Choice.
What was the Choco thing? I'll do that.
Demon and Choco, excellent. We welcome the return of the Dark Lord.
So this part, I need Farah to follow me. Sometimes she takes a very long time to get past the scarabs, like she is now. Okay, there she is. So we're going to climb through here.
The baths.
So normally, I would have one more sand here and I would zip through this cutscene. But because I messed up my zip, I'm not going to be able to do that. And instead, I'm going to kill this lady because I need her sand. Please. Pretty please. I'm going to take 2 sands. And I'm going to go for a different route that should work. This is going to be on the fly, so if it doesn't work, I'm really sorry. Because it means we'll be even further behind, but I think we should be good. Right? Maybe? You guys can back me up, right?
You're the pro.
Damn. That's a lot of pressure. Okay, so this should work. You know what? No. There's no point in risking something silly. I'm just going to do the intended route. I need to wait for Farah here. Currently, I'm considered out of combat, but she's in combat. The music will fade when you know she's out of combat, and then she'll run into the hole. And you'll hear her climb in. Okay.
$50 from T-Pocket says, to keeping a cool head even in the face of less than perfect circumstances. Thanks for showcasing this game.
Thank you.
And another 30 from Anonymous saying, congrats to Heneko for being an absolute champ about how this run is going.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to be walking into this door a lot. The reason why is because I want to skip a cutscene. It might be that even though I do all these steps, I might still trigger the cutscene because the actual area that you trigger it in is really big. Hopefully I can skip past it though, so I'm going to just wait a little bit until I'm out of view. Okay, so I didn't trigger the cutscene, which is nice. I'm going to take the sand. I got really scared then. Holy moly. I thought the game crashed. Oh, that's rough. Oh god. There she is. Okay, so you can actually game over loop there. This run is certainly something. You can actually game over loop there, and I'm so glad we didn't, because that would have made me a very sad panda.
Well, it's all right, because Dancing Prince gives $10 and says, I'm going to donate $1 for every minute lost in the Prince of Persia stream.
Wow, that's sort of hype, I guess, right?
To every minute lost to the estimate, or I mean, yeah.
I say towards the 47-minute run.
Oh, that guy's going to be bankrupt.
But
Also,
I think he has to do it because this next part says, putting this money towards the Chrono Trigger 100% run because the donation reader said so. You're welcome, donation reader. Well, thank you. I'll tell you to do more things.
I need the enemies, but the enemies aren't spawning. Come back, please.
Claristic gave $50 and said, had to donate during the game that ruined my childhood. Took my 8-year-old self 6 damn months to beat this after raging multiple times, only to eventually beat it and cry during the ending. 10 out of 10.
You cried. Wow. That's, it touched you on an emotional level. It's crazy. Personally, I don't have that connection because I really don't like Farah. She's very annoying. Or at least in the speedrun sense. I did actually play this game as a kid, and I believe I never finished it. So that's a good sign, right?
We got another 20 from Mike Uyama. Wow, a crash, and it's not even in a spot where the game is known to crash. You've reminded me how crappy and inconsistent this game can be to run.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that the walls are now suggestions, and you're not forced to deal with loud, bad English accents. I wish I knew that skip back when I ran the game. Now I'll watch more of zips and voids in the game.
Yeah, some not intentional. I might trigger the cutscene. Nope. Okay, so let's dodge that lady because she didn't like me last time. Just gonna do a lot of steps here. The reason why I didn't actually count out the steps there is because if you stay in place for too long, these ladies can hit you. And as you saw, they do a lot of damage because they do their little spin attack, which is actually really damaging. Now, I could go for a consistent strat here, or I could hope for RNG. Do I hope for RNG?
I'd say go with the consistent strat.
Nah, let's go for
I
RNG.
say do it.
All right.
Yeah,
Gotta even out, right?
Let's do it.
Just do it. Okay, I'm going to go for the RNG. Let's hope it works out. Maybe. The consistent strat is actually slower. So if I get good RNG, it will be faster. But yeah, you can zip down to where I'm about to go. But if you do, you have to backtrack to make Farah's AI follow you. So, with a bit of luck, no, we needed one more hit on that door, one more hit, but it's okay because we're gonna get it with this girl. There we go. So that's not actually too bad. That's probably faster than the consistent strat because we would have to zip down to this section where I am now, and then we have to backtrack all the way to the middle of the fountain so Farah follows us. So it probably actually evened out. It wasn't too bad. Now we need Farah to come down here. If she doesn't, then we game over. So. The camera to be nice to me here, and it's not. Dude. There we go. So I'm going to do a double dagger. Okay. So this is actually a zip that can cut it really close. Okay, it was actually really nice this time. If you overstep that zip, for some reason it always seems to put you right on the brink, which is always really scary. I don't think with a double dagger you can actually, I don't think you can overstep it too much because just because of the distance, you shouldn't ever fall into the abyss. Now there is a jump that I can do here, but I'm not going to do it because it's really hard. But you can actually jump down. You can do a diagonal jump all the way down to this ledge that I'm about to climb down to. The only problem is that it's like I said, it can be really tricky and finicky. So I'm going to open up this door. Now this corridor is such an annoying corridor. The reason why is because these scarabs always look like they're going to line up for a double kill, and then right at the last minute they change. Also, something that's quite annoying about this game is the auto aim. You don't really get any choice of who you attack. Which can be really frustrating.
Look, a crack.
Yes, in you go. So I'm going to try and do a thing right now, which, there we go. So that's completely pointless, but we've got nothing to do anyway because we have to wait until she gets to the other side. I actually found that you could change the orientation of boxes on stream live, and I didn't even mean to. I was just messing around and pressing buttons and it happened.
Don't step off that switch.
That would be bad. So you have to wait for her to climb up the ladder here, which is really boring. You can follow up after her, but it's actually faster to... There's another crash, boys.
Oh, man.
That's okay. That's like, what, $60? Easy. Oh, boy.
And on that note, we had 404 from Boxed Food. Tap, 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 tap. Loving those taps. Donate this to 100% Chrono Trigger.
Okay, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to load up my marathon saves here. And I'm going to load up the area I was about to climb into. The area that I was just climbing up to was that section there. So I'm just, unfortunately, just because of a marathon, and the crashes do happen, I had to do that really, which is unfortunate. I really didn't want to use them. At ESA, I had a flawless run, which was frustrating, because I would have liked a flawless run twice, honestly, but...
The door's open. I'm going in.
Don't! Wait for me!
I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try from this angle. So what's weird about this room is that basically this was the room where all runs used to go to die, because you used to have to hope for Farah to not die in this room. She used to be attacked by enemies like a lot, and you needed to get to the top of the room without her... In fact, you needed to get to the balcony outside the room without the enemies killing her. But luckily we don't have to worry about that anymore, because the enemy AI gets triggered with the cutscene, and we never look at the cutscene, so the enemies never fight her. Despite that, the game says that when you're not in the same room as Farah and there are enemies in that room, she will lose health. So we're going to do a little bit of a trick here, and we're going to trick the game into thinking we're in the same room as her, which is what those little steps outside the door were for. And I'm going to torpedo off the door and straight into the cutscene so that the game forgets about her. We're just going to leave her behind for a while. And I'm going to do a double dagger here. Okay. That's not a problem. You can just roll through back through that bridge. I really need to check my calibration next time. Okay, so that was 19 steps. So if this doesn't work, there's something wrong. But it did work, which is lovely. It's nice for something to work. So I needed to come over here to make the enemy spawn, and I'm just going to go and grab a bunch of sand from them, because the next section coming up, there's a lot of tricks. Hopefully they all go okay. They're actually kind of hard to do, and there's a lot that can go wrong, which is like most of the game, honestly, as you may have picked up on. So we're going to get the 4 sands, and then we're going to go over here, and unfortunately we can't use that lever because it's not loaded. Otherwise it would be faster just to, you know, pull the lever and go through the door. But I don't know what's happening here. So yeah, we have to zip through the door. There we go. So because we left Farah behind ages ago, we need to get to a checkpoint, which is going to happen right when we touch down on this platform here. And then we're just going to jump off, because when we do, the room gets reloaded.
That's not how.
With Farah in it, which is nice. So this zip here is a really big zip. One of the biggest zips in the game, honestly, saves a lot of time. Dagger. Okay. I'm going to be even slower on my zips, unfortunately, just because I want to make sure. Okay, so he's going to jump that. And then the reason why I zoomed in the camera is so that I could tell when he jumps. So even though the prince is outside of my view, the camera will go up, which means that I know that he's jumped, which is always nice. Because otherwise I wouldn't know when to end the zip. How many sands do I have right now? If I have 2, then that's nice. If I have 1, then that's a little bit of an issue, but it's not too much. Okay, I have 1 sand, but it's not too much of an issue. It is fixable. So yeah, we're never going to fight these vultures. We look like we're going to, and then... So I'm going to need to watch here to see where the prince's feet go. I'm going to need to shorten this zip right at the end and hug this wall. Hopefully this works. Okay, lovely. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spam the first person view, because I need to know whereabouts I am. And normally what we'd do here is we would... there we go. So I need to get down onto that thing, which I am on, which is lovely. Okay, so that's it. This should work. So normally we'd use a rewind, and then once you activate a rewind trick, it resets your camera, but we don't have the option to do that. The game thinks we're still at the top of the bridge, but obviously we're not. So I have to use the first-person camera to see where I am, and then kind of guess whereabouts the prince is, and make my movements based off of that. So this jump is actually really deceivingly hard. I fail that jump a lot, honestly. So I don't know about you guys, but I really hate it when, you know, I'm walking along, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just become invisible. It really, really sucks. Okay, so the reason that happens, with the zip that I did where I went out of view and then I jumped high in the air,
This gate leads to the baths.
the reason that the prince is invisible is because during that zip, there's a cutscene, and in that cutscene, the prince tears the arm off of his whatever he's wearing. And because he tears that off, at that specific moment, I'm not entirely sure why it's at that moment, but the game checks to see if he's, wearing it. And because he isn't, the game doesn't know what to do, and it just, doesn't load his texture. Okay, so hopefully this zips over an enemy trigger. Sometimes you'll go through it anyway. I think I might just walk back into it, but it's not a big issue. It doesn't actually save any time. It just stops the bats from being really annoying. Nice. For some reason, I have no collision. Dude, I can't get past these barrels properly. Okay, this could be fine, because there should be a sand cloud there which we can pick up. Okay, so it did actually, somehow, even though I thought I walked back into it, it did actually pick up the. It did actually skip the enemy triggers, because normally you can tell because there's 2 scarabs on the floor here, but there isn't, which means we skipped it. So I'm going to do this jump here. If I walked any further onto that platform, I would have triggered I think 30-second cutscene. So this section that I'm doing now, I'm doing it as the what we call the Invisible Prince, or Invisiprince, and it's kind of hard because there's quite a few specific jumps that we're doing, and it's kind of hard to know where the prince is without seeing his feet. We have to go by basically the dust clouds that he kicks up off of the floor. Okay, so I'm going to walk along and then jump, and then down, and then jump. Okay, I'm going to regret asking this one as well, but what's the timer at? What was that, sorry? Okay, that's workable, I think. Maybe, if we're fast.
Well, Ian Cox gave $20 and said, kicking in because I've got so much admiration for Heneko's positive attitude in the face of adversity. And anyone else in chat, if you have admiration for his attitude now, kick in money. Like, let's show Heneko how much we support what he's doing here.
I would like that, I'm not too fast. It's like I said, it's part and parcel of the game for it to kind of kick you in the teeth like that. It just happens. I did submit it with the full knowledge that could happen. That's okay. So this section is also, as the Invisible Prince, is really difficult, but this is not because he's invisible, it's because the camera angles and how they work in relation to your movement is really jarring. Sometimes it's just instinct to, press the direction that you want to jump to, but you don't actually do that for this. It's really bizarre why they made it work like that. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know if that's an issue with the console versions or if it's PC specific. But I've always had quite a lot of issues with these pillars, or it's stalactites, I guess. Like right now, I'm pressing you do have to press up eventually. I'm going to take that just so later on I can have 5 sands for safety. Obviously I had full sands, but later on, if you pick up 8 sand clouds, it counts as adding another sand tank to your arsenal, which is always nice because it means you get to, zip more. So this is another section that's kind of difficult to do with the Invisible Prince, especially because he doesn't really kick up any dust with where his feet is. But we can mostly navigate with wall runs, which is nicer than jumps because, we don't need to, do any aiming for a wall run. We just press RB and it's all good. Unfortunately, the Invisible Prince doesn't stay with us the entire run. Because we unfortunately do need to take like a void out. We need to like void out of the area. And when we reload the area, the Prince is reloaded with his normal textures. Just gonna watch this cutscene. I was thinking about taking that save, but I don't know. I'm a crazy man, and I can't bother to save. So let's. This is another kind of hard zip to do when you're invisible. So I'm gonna be careful here because if you zip up too high, you can deload the area. It's a really tight timing, and I do mess it up a lot, but hopefully it all goes okay. Okay, yeah, no, it's fine. And grab this, and then climb up to safety when it stops wobbling. Okay. Normally the enemies are really mean to me here, and they teleport in my way, but that was actually nice. That's a lot nicer than they usually are. They can stop you for like a few seconds at a time because the corridor that you're rolling through is like really tight and the enemies are quite chunky. Okay, how many rewinds do I have? I have three rewinds, so that's okay. It's quite funny, really, because none of these traps are even a threat, because we just never, ever activate them. Like, normally, the challenge of this game comes from, you know, all the platforming and the dodging of traps, but we don't really do that anymore. Okay, so this is another zip that I really don't like while being invisible.
Stay there. I'll come to you.
I'm really heavily overstepping now because I'm so worried, but that was good. Okay, so this should give me my next sand tank, which is going to be really nice. Unfortunately, this is the most crash-heavy area of the game, by a large margin. I don't think I could even tell you how many times I've crashed in how many different places right now. The next 6 minutes, really. The next 6 minutes are really grueling in terms of dodging crashes. But normally we'd have to fight a bunch of enemies there with Farah, and she's currently in the room on her own with them, which means she's going to lose health. But that doesn't matter because we are just going to roll into the abyss, which, as we know, reloads the area. And we're normal again. So it's basically after this zip, this is where I'm most scared. I'm gonna take that death, even though the zip didn't was not full length. I'm gonna take the death. Because I really do need the rewinds here. Now, this is the zip that I'm most scared of. And it's a really simple zip to do, but the effects of it are pretty harsh. Cross your fingers, boys, because I'm gonna need all the luck I can get. Okay, so it can crash now, it didn't crash. It can crash now, it didn't crash. It can crash now, and it didn't crash. So we got past all the crashes in that corridor, but no, don't applaud yet, don't applaud yet. There is still one more crash, and it's this one. So hopefully this goes okay. Tap, 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 tap. Okay. This is a scary one. Is RNG on my side? No. It's okay though. I'm going to do that to trigger the cutscene, which it loses time, but I'm not going to start miles away like I would originally, so it works out. I got into the cutscene by rewound time until I got back to where I started, and then I walked forwards into the cutscene. I'm just going to take one of these guys' sands. Unfortunately, doing this is slower, and it can be really frustrating because when you're trying to do all your movements, these guys are going to want to hit me because they're not very nice. Sometimes they do leave you alone. It looks like they've left me alone, but nope, maybe not. I spoke too soon. What I'm going to do is I'm going to incapacitate them by torpedoing into them, and then I'm going to quickly do it right now. So, jump. Okay, this should work. This should work. I did 19 steps, so. Okay, where am I? That's another moment where the game thinks I'm somewhere else, so the camera goes a little bit strange. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go up these flagpoles. I could try the risky strat here, and I'm going to because why not? I need to make up the time somehow. I'm going to wait here for a second because I don't want any movements to interfere with the zip, which is really likely. Okay, let's go. Okay. If I manage to get this, please clap. No, okay, it's not worked, but that's fine because it's easily revertible. I'm just going to take the easy strat. Actually, to be fair, I have 3 rewinds. I'm going to try it again. Yes, I am crazy. I'm not very sensible either.
Fingers crossed.
Okay. Nice. It's definitely not worked. I don't know how I saved that, honestly, but... dude, the strats. The on-the-fly strats. Okay, I think I'm going to need to be really careful here. This is going to be a really worrying zip. Okay, it's rip. I need to do it again, unfortunately.
That didn't happen.
I wish it didn't happen.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we've got a lot of donations coming in for your positive attitude and just about as many coming in for you breaking people's childhoods.
I'm sorry, on both accounts. These guys are going to annoy me again, aren't they? I'm going to need to tell them to go away. Oh, that was a nice double kill. It's kind of funny. I don't know if this run could actually go any worse. Well, there you have it. That was some good timing. Come on, please don't do this to me. It's not going to zip. If it zips, I'll be very surprised. I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get right now, honestly. Sweet Mother of Mary. Okay, so... Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's the clapping for?
$5 from G-Bombs. Yo, Heneko, how's Coldstone?
What?
It's supposed to be an inside joke that you'll get.
Is it?
It is.
I don't know it. I'm so sorry.
G-Bombs? Anyway, even though this run is taking some extra time, it's still entertaining. Keep the hype alive, man.
I'm trying.
$50 from Anonymous said, after watching the speedrun so far, I feel like you need a hug. Also donating to Luigi's Mansion Race for Fifi.
Dude. Okay. Okay. I could use a hug right now, honestly.
You are getting a lot of financial hugs.
The best type of hugs. Okay. Let's try this again. This is pretty much the only thing I can do at the moment, unfortunately. Nice. I need him to grab onto it. There we go. Okay, so the audio gets played in reverse there. Normally I wouldn't have to deal with it because normally I take the other strat. But that audio should play when he's actually riding up the lift. Please don't hit me, I'll be really sad. Okay, it's not too bad. It's bad if he knocks you down because that messes up all your movements. If he just hits you, then that means that you can still continue. So I'm trying. Okay, that should work.
Wait, let's see where this corridor goes.
I'm gonna reload the area. That's intentional. I know can be hard to... Why did that not work? I'll be genuinely serious. I don't know why that didn't work. I hit the checkpoint trigger, so... Wow. Okay. These guys. I don't know why that didn't work. I'm very sad.
Jack in Disguise gave $5 and said, I'm going to watch this run even if it takes another hour or 1,000 hours. Heneko is an American hero, and we will see this through to the bitter end together. Used for runner's choice.
An American hero?
That's what it says.
I'll take it. Why not? I guess I am in America. Land of the free. Okay, let's do this strat again because it worked at least. Yeah, I've walked straight over the checkpoint trigger. So the fact that it didn't give me the checkpoint is puzzling.
We had $100 from Super Impressed. Despite the ridiculous kick in the teeth from this game, Heneko has been a joy to watch. All the luck going into the future.
Oh. Okay, let's try this again.
Oh.
Oh, indeed. I'm gonna do the same thing I did before to stop these enemies from messing with me. There you go. So yeah, the checkpoint trigger is right
Let's see where
here.
this corridor goes.
I promise, it's right here. I'm gonna walk over it twice to make sure, and if this doesn't work, then I don't know. There we go. Fantastic. The game is working as intended.
Kevin16 gives $50 and says, what up, Heneko? Kevin on sound here. Wide awake thanks to this super entertaining run, so cheers for that. Let's get that sub 120.
Thanks, Kevin. I'm gonna try. I really don't think it's possible anymore, but
Go on, try. What's
I'll try. We'll see how it goes.
Tyler227 said $100 or gave $100 and says, Heneko, not everybody can get kicked in the teeth like this and be as collected as you are. This is the first time I've seen this game run, and I really enjoy how you explain everything that's going on. I too hate it when I'm walking and suddenly turn invisible.
It really does suck.
Who doesn't?
Okay, so I don't really want to say this, but we've got past the crash heavy part of the run. That's probably bad luck. Thank you for the woo, whoever that was. I appreciate the woos. Okay. Oh, more woos. Damn. Okay, so hopefully this guy doesn't annoy me. Generally, when you're in this section, they don't see you for some reason, but they can. And when they do, it's really annoying because these guys pack a punch. As you will see at the very end of the game. At the end of the game, you have to do a fight sequence, and we have to do the fight sequence with base upgrades, so like we have no life upgrades, and the guys can kill you in 2 hits if you're really unlucky, and you also don't have any sand during that point, so you need to be really careful, because they can also,
That's the bridge to the tower.
the instant like kill move that I'm doing a lot, where I torpedo into them, that sometimes cannot work on them. And they're quite hard to deal with. So I'm actually going to take a heal right now. I'm going to drink some water and hope that the enemies don't hit me. Come on. That's okay. I still healed a little bit. That's enough. It's more than the sliver of health that I had before. And we're going to go for this. Oh, that guy walked into my way, so this might not work. But no, it worked. I'm surprised that worked because the enemy did like push me to the side as I did the wall run up. So, we're about to have quite a large break for any donations, if there are any, because there's going to be a cutscene, and the cutscene is really long. It's this one here.
All right, well, actually, that's a good time for this donation. Hope234 gives $15 and says, hey, Mr. Announcer, to make Heneko feel better, you should get a tally of the donations that happened during this run, because it would probably make him feel a whole lot better. Much love to everyone involved in AGDQ. And you have had 167 donations so far during this run.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
So
That's pretty good.
it's over $4,000, so
Nice.
that's pretty good. And I'm serious, I can't read them all because there's just too many, and I'm sure they're filtering more out of the donation station, but we're seeing 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s. Hashtag hype for Heneko, super support for Heneko, keep positive Heneko. I mean, Heneko's relentless positivity is awe and donation inspiring. Heneko, you have zipped your way into my heart.
The puns.
I'm sorry I'm not saying the names on these, but there's just a lot. $20 from Anonymous says, if they make a movie about speedrunning, I hope Jake Gyllenhaal plays Heneko.
Okay, so because, I don't know, I'm a masochist or something, I'm going to try a really hard trick that can fail really bad. But if I get it, you know, it's going to be great, so. There's a high chance that this will not work. I just want to point that out. Even if I was to do this like properly. Oh, dude, it was really close. I might be able to save this if I'm... Dude, I actually saved it! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Something good, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Something good.
Oh man, I am literally the happiest person in the world right now.
$10 from Casual Couch Gaming. Let's tip the financial scales of RNG with our cash, guys. Keep the hugs coming in.
So what I did there is, even though I failed it, the prince actually fell on the floor, which if I'd avoided out, I wouldn't have been able to save it. But because he fell on the floor, I can rewind time, and if I rewind it twice to the exact same frame, what happens is the prince resets his full timer. So the fact that I was able to do that, it's really hard, and I'm really happy that I got it. Deep breaths, everybody. Deep breaths.
It's all gonna be okay.
Okay, so we are about to exit prison. Because I skipped that bit at the beginning with that large jump that you saw, the bats are going to trigger like now. These should have triggered down at the bottom, but because I'm right at the top, the camera angle is going to change in like 2 seconds, and for whatever reason, they're scripted to like not follow you up to this bit, so the bats just disappear. So this roll's kind of hard because enemies can really make it difficult. This is going to be difficult. If this works, I'll be very surprised, but it's impossible. It's possible. It worked. Nice. Fantastic. We're on a roll, boys. We're 2 for 2.
Let's go.
2 for 2.
100%.
Yeah. If you discount everything else, it's 2 for 2, 100%.
We got somebody here. Sphere100 says $20. Donating my $20 for 2 crashes already because there won't be any more.
Oh.
Great job on keeping a cool head while having horrible marathon luck.
It's okay. So what I did there is, because I rolled through that gate, I left Farah really far behind. When you roll into this cutscene, the area that she was standing on deloads, and she just falls into the abyss, which gives us a game over, but it's fine because the cutscene also serves as a checkpoint trigger. So when we reload, she just activates the cutscene as normal, which is really nice. So this is kind of a time-intensive zip, so hopefully I get it right. I'm going to do 3 jumps. It's really tight timing. It's kind of difficult because I'm having to overstep so much because I didn't calibrate the controller correctly. I might not make this in time. Yeah, no, I didn't think I was going to. It's going to be really hard. I'm going to need to push the controller pretty aggressively. So, 1, 2, 3, sword. Okay. That should work, I hope. Okay, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and on the third one, we're at the top of the elevator. So that skips like a huge fight section. It's about a 3-minute fight. I'm going to take this save now and save.
I'll start the story.
The reason I do that is because I skipped that huge section and Farah's not with me. The cutscene at the top of this room isn't loaded. And because of that, I'm going to need to take this here because the reason I took that save point is so that when I die and respawn, I respawn at the top of the elevator as opposed to the bottom where I would have been. And now I just need to get to the top of this elevator. And for some reason, my wall run is not going up the thing. It's fine. I'll just go around the normal way. It only saves like a second or 2 anyway. So I think during this section of the game, the developers got extremely lazy because right now there's going to be a 2.5-minute cutscene, and then after that there's going to be about 1 hour 35 of just walking down the stairs. And I call this a cutscene, but they didn't really do much. You get this little bit of action at the beginning, but eventually it'll just fade to black, and then all you can hear is the audio cues. So this is literally the perfect time for donations.
We got him. $20 from Brandy B says, speedrunning games that don't have a risk of crashing at any moment is so casual. Heneko is a true pro. King of Suede gives $5 and says, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful game. Plenty of glitches heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity... Never mind, it crashed again.
Yeah, got a clap for the announcer for singing it. Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's good. I like it.
That's twice they've made me sing during this thing.
It's better than Heneko singing.
Wow.
Your turn next, buddy.
Shush.
$30 from Griffin N, donating in honor of Prince of Persia, which has apparently become self-aware and is trying to stop you from dismantling it. Good luck with the rest of the run. Let's see here. $100 from Mizar. I've been watching GDQ since the beginning, and honestly, even though all odds have been against you, Heneko, you have my eternal admiration for staying positive. Keep up the great work, everyone, and Chrono Trigger 100% run hype. I echo that. Taz31 gave $20 and said, I really didn't plan on donating due to a current lack of steady income, but Heneko's positive outlook in the face of a game that really just doesn't want to be played really made my day. Keep up the good work, Heneko, and may the RNG be in your favor for the rest of the run.
Thank you very much.
$20 from Joe N. Donating for Heneko's positive outlook and cool demeanor. You are a steely-eyed speedrunning man.
All I have to do was speak that word.
A lot of people have crushes on you. You're somebody's waifu.
Oh my.
$20 from Anonymous. Props to the streamer. I will also match $1 for each minute over the time. This is my first time seeing a run go wrong, and I'm glad it was with Heneko and his endless optimism.
Me too.
$50 from Anonymous. Like sand through the hourglass, these are the days of our crash. Woot woot for 100% Chrono Trigger.
Oh look, the cutscene's sort of over. I say sort of because this next section of gameplay is really not thrilling. In fact, does anybody want the co-op world record? Does someone want to hold like 2 directions? Anyone? Go on, Blackfire. Just hold 2 directions, okay? You can do it. There we go. Oh, dude. Well,
You're doing so well.
This bit's really tricky.
I think he's doing it better than you.
Yeah, no, I think I think he is as well. As long as he doesn't crash, he's got like a way better record than I have. Now this bit's easy. Okay, this bit coming up's really hard. No, okay, you got it. Dude, you're really good at this. Keep going. No, this is really good. Ace. Okay, so you're just gonna walk through this thing. You almost missed it. Fantastic. Okay, so normally we'd have to do this puzzle, but we don't have to do this. The reason I walk into the cutscene is just for safety, because it does act as a checkpoint trigger if I fail this zip, which is kind of a hard zip to do. Props to the guy who found this zip, because it's pretty insane. So, the area after the puzzle is actually already loaded, and we're gonna get there. No, we're not. Wait there. I'm gonna have to take that. I'm gonna have to. Or not? Okay. I don't know how that worked, but it did. It's okay.
Time magic.
I can do this with one hand, I think.
Hello?
Hello. Okay. I might be cutting the time a little, the rewind timer a little bit here, so the zip might not complete. Yeah, it's really hard to convey just how out of the way this room is. So whoever found it loaded is fantastic, because we skipped that whole puzzle section, which is a really long puzzle section, and also a cutscene. So I'm going to need to take the sand off this guy and his 2 friends as well, just for safety. His 2 friends should be hanging around back here. Excuse me. I'm going to need your sand. And you, can you attack me? Thank you very much. It's good. Once you clear the enemies, this cutscene plays to say that there's a save point. We're not going to take the save point. The reason we're not going to take the save point, and the reason why hopefully this next section goes really well, is because at this section of the game, we're not meant to have the dagger.
Oh, no.
Without the dagger, we can't do any zips, which is obviously makes the game go a lot slower. So we're just going to break this door. And I need to step out onto the balcony to actually trigger the next area. Okay, just gonna make sure I'm lining this up correctly. Okay, so the reason I'm changing the camera angle here is to know when the prince is jumping. Too awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 3 more than it should be. Or 2 more, sorry. I can't count. Okay, so this is going to be a slow rewind, fast rewind. Interesting. I'll be honest, and I will say it again. That's actually never happened before. Damn. I'm really adding to that counter.
I think
So-
that's 2 so far.
I'm going to take some more sand from these guys. Yeah, normally I land on the platform. I guess I overshot that a little bit. I guess I was looking a little bit too far left. I was honestly pretty lucky, because if I'd have gone any further, I probably would have voided out, and I would have lost the dagger, which would have been very, very upsetting. So I'm going to take this health here because this is the last chance we get to heal before the final battle. And as I said before, the final battle can be really unfair to you if you're unlucky. If the enemies decide that they're going to be mean, which they often do. So there's quite a few cutscenes that we have to dodge at the end game here, because I don't know if I said before, but walking into a cutscene at the end game will make you lose your dagger as well. So there's a cutscene we're going to zip over here. So I've kind of, I don't think, okay, yeah. Like I say, I was debating whether to actually do more steps, but that was fine. Getting a little bit paranoid about, not making the actual zip. This next zip coming up is actually really nerve-wracking. Hopefully it goes okay. It's going to be especially nerve-wracking if I have to overstep it like I've been doing recently, so. Let's see how this goes. Lovely. So that, as you can see, that was like a really tight angle, so it's really nerve-wracking whenever you take that zip. Or at least it is to me anyway, because I find that really scary. Also, you can clearly see when the level is loaded there at the bottom. They didn't really take any effort to hide that. So this is one of the last zips in the game, and it's a really hard one because the ledge that I'm on is really small, which makes things really difficult to get the steps in, especially with this calibration. So I'm going to need to zoom in more because I need to know when the prince jumps. I'm just going to stop a little bit just so none of my previous movements get included in the zip. So 2 awkwards. Call that an awkward zip. I'm going to do that again because I waited too long. Dude, you see his leg there? Okay. This is scary. But we got it, which is nice. So I'm going to take some sand from these guys. Apparently I'm not going to take some sand. So sometimes they have like a random chance to block, even if it's a move that should kill them, or at least knock them down so I can retrieve their sand. Sometimes they block it. I'm not entirely sure why that is. They're being really good at blocking at the moment. Okay, so I'm just going to walk into this bit here. The reason I do this is because once I'm through this bit, I just fall down. Once we go all the way over here, even though the enemies are going to be spawning, as soon as I get through here, they can no longer see me because apparently the geometry's in the way. Which lets me do this zip here, providing I'm standing in the correct position, which I am. Okie dokie. So we're just going to wait for the prince. That's not good. That's okay. The cutscene will, I'll go back to where I was at the ladder. Unfortunately, I did lose the dagger. That was really unfortunate. I overstepped too much because I'm really nervous about the whole zipping thing. And because I overstepped, I went into the wall. It's okay though, because we'll just do this bit as intended. It's going to be slow, but it's really crazy how much zips actually skip. I'm really sorry that I've not been able to, put on a great zipping showcase, but hopefully it's been okay. This next section of the game, there's a lot of cool little tricks that you can do to speed it up. A lot of tricks that are used in zipless, so even though this looks scary, you can do a jump here, and you fall down, but obviously it's okay. And we can also jump from there to there, and providing we can balance. And we'll walk around here. So yeah, that zip that I was going to do, that vertical zip, it would have put me here. So as you can see, it does save quite a bit of time. Quite a large chunk of time. And we're climbing to the very last cutscene of the game, and after that, the last fight of the game. Okie dokie. So yeah, this is the last cutscene. It's relatively long, so if you want to donation read.
Yeah, it's it's a lot. We're now at, I think, $6,400 since this run started. So
Nice.
in the last 20 minutes, it's another 2K. So a lot of hashtag hugs for Heneko. What do we got here? $100 from Landon. It's been a blast to watch Heneko's run. $10 from Alpha 140. 167 is nothing. Here's my first hug for a GDQ. Absolutely my favorite run I've ever seen, and by far my favorite runner. Your performance and mentality is inspiring. Never change, and good luck. P.S. Thanks to the rest of the GDQ staff, readers, tech team, and other viewers for bringing so many people like Heneko together into such a wonderful... That's it. Such a wonderful.
Such a wonderful.
Such a wonderful.
I love wonderful.
Yes.
Hashtag such a wonderful. Hashtag hugs for Heneko. $50 from Pyro Hamster. Heneko is a super beast and $50 hype for that co-op world record.
I mean, technically, this could have been any time, and it would have got co-op world record. So, okay. So this, as I said before, this last fight can be really hard, and there is, there's a real possibility that I can actually die. I've definitely died here a lot before. The enemies, if they hit you with a specific move, it will take over half my health. It's pretty crazy. But on the other hand, during this point in the game, normally the game expects you to pick up these life upgrades, which obviously improve your. This auto aim is not very good. Like I said, you don't really get to choose who I'm torpedoing to. I need something to torpedo off of. I need to lure them over to this wall. I don't know what he's trying to hit. So yeah, it's that. Oh, a double kill. That's nice. It's that move there that he's doing with the overhead swings. Those are the really powerful ones, and you need to be really careful because even when you're in the torpedo animation, they can hit you too, like that. That's okay. That was okay because I actually. Oh, okay, that's actually really good. He killed his own enemy, which actually knocks them down, which means I'm able to retrieve sand. Normally, you do this whole fight, pretty much without sand, which means you can't make any mistakes. But I can actually make a mistake now, which is always nice because, this run seems to have a lot of them. But it's okay because this is literally the very last section. Oh, another double kill. Okay, so that's the last fight done. Went okay. Yeah, considering how that fight can go, it can be really rough.
I'll start the story from here next time.
So, this is the very end. We are nearing the end, people. I don't know if any of you have ever played anything like, Shadow of the Colossus or God of War. All those games with all those epic boss battles. What you're about to see now is definitely on par with that. It's really intense. The showdown is about to happen.
I will handle this intruder.
Oh god.
Okay. Wait, whoa, where are you going, dude? You need to come here.
What sorcery is
Oh, look at this. This is
Stop this at once.
This is intense, right? Look at this. There's so much strategy involved. I have to jump over his head and, jump over his head, and we'll have to jump over his head as well, and, he doesn't seem too concerned with it, honestly.
Your exertions are most
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out here to this balcony. I could have done this in the first round, but I kind of wanted to show off the boss mechanics of the game because I think they're funny. So for whatever reason, not entirely sure why,
Let him
the
be brought
developers
before my
decided that
father.
this would be a good
He will
idea.
judge.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they decided that the trigger to the end credits, they're going to put really high in the air. If I can actually zip upwards, that would be. Let's try again.
Vizier, I have commanded you to stop.
Let's try that again. That might zip too far forwards. It's going to be close. Yeah, I was gonna say time, but it was too far forwards.
Your father was a great warrior.
Seems appropriate.
Also, he would have the
Okay, this should work. I'm really kicking myself for the calibration, honestly. But I've had fun. I hope everyone on my couch has had fun.
a pity his son doesn't.
There we go, time. That probably was not under 1 hour 20 minutes, but you know what? That's fine. Like I said, I had a good time, despite the run being very train wrecky. And there was how many crashes?
It was like two.
Two crashes? Okay, so that's £60 from the Prince of Persia community, which is always nice. So, I guess, thank you. Oh, hello. Thank you everyone for watching.
Come on, Couch, let's give Heneko some real hugs.
Oh god, hugs for Heneko? Is this happening?
Yep.
Hello everyone. Oh my lord.
Get in here.
How big a group hug can we get over here? I gotta get in this too.
Wow. Okay. People are gonna die in here. Wow.
Holy moly, I didn't expect that.
All right, everyone, I've delivered your financial hugs the best I could. I think we're actually going to go ahead and take a short break. We're going to throw up an ad for one of our sponsors, somethingartistic.net, and then we're back with Deus Ex. Stay tuned.